Yes. Good afternoon, viewers, wherever you are watching from. Here in Nigeria, it's afternoon, or yeah, it's 4 p.m. I know a lot of guys are watching us from US, UK, Canada, and co. We sincerely welcome all of you to this show, the John Mayaki Show, special edition this afternoon. We are discussing 2023 today. The topic is the frantic quest for freshmen in legislative business. Frantic quest for freshmen in legislative business. 2023 is almost, the game has begun. And people are saying, oh no, this guy has been there for 2 times. This guy is there for 3 tenor. This guy is there, it's going for the 2nd tenor. No, we need fresh air. We need fresh brains. We need people who can do better. So we have one of our brother who is also contesting the election. This afternoon, we are hosting with us on the John Mayaki Show a brother who is joining us via Zoom, Chief Dr. Billy Osawaru. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, John. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for joining us today on this show.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. I've seen your pictures and posters here and there, and it seems you are running for an election.
Yes, you are very correct. Yes, I'm running for the House of Reps.
What local government is that, or what constituency is that?
That's the federal constituency, Orion and
Orion Uhunde constituency, federal constituency. Sir, can you please just give us a brief introduction of yourself?
I'm Chief Dr. Billy Osawaru, Chief and the Osawaru of Benin Kingdom. Doctor, I have a doctorate in international business, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, US, but I'm always at home. Every other month I'm in Nigeria. While I'm a financial advisor with World Financial Group, one of the largest insurance and investment companies in the United States and Canada. And I'm also the president, CEO of the famous financial services. Everything we do has to do with insurance, investment, and retirement portfolios. I've been doing this for almost 19, 20 years. And besides that, I'm also a court-appointed special advocate on abused children in the United States. That's what we call CASTA. Basically, what I do there is just to work with the judges to see how we can reconcile abused kids whose parents, maybe the mother is in jail, the father is a drug addict. We try to reconcile with a responsible family member. So I work closely with the judges. That is just purely the work I do as giving back to the community. So I used to also teach in the universities, teach international business. Why I say used to, because right now my business actually has offices in almost 10 cities in the United States. Corporate financial group. So my job takes me. I'm always on the traveling. So the teaching aspect of it is kind of very difficult for me right now. But it's something I have love for, and something I always want to go back to when I have the time. Because my life is all about teaching and sharing information. So basically, of course, I mentioned before that the Osawaru of Benin Kingdom, anytime duty calls, traditionally, I'm always there. I have to be there. So many other things, that I do. I belong to some few chamber of commerce, belong to some professional organizations, and every of those organizations, trust me, John, I'm always there as a leader. And somebody, when I take part in anything, they always want me to hold a leadership position there because I always love to serve my peers. So that's basically a little bit about me. Maybe as we continue to talk about, continue to deliberate today, I might have the opportunity to share more about what I do.
Very well, very
But
well, very well.
that's what it is.
I'm sure you know that we no longer want old men or people who are nearing their 80s and 90s in government anymore. Will you classify yourself as in the bracket of those? Are you there? Hello? Okay. I'm sure we all know that with the crisis of NSARS, we now understand that we no longer want, but of course, we want the youth not too young to run. We will find out from our brother if he shares in that ideology. The lines are open, they are published on the screen. Kindly do us well to call in and tell us your opinion on today's edition of the John Mayaki Show, namely the quest for freshmen. The quest for freshmen. In fact, it's a frantic quest. In Edo State, we have Edo North. The senator wants to go back for third term. In Edo Central, the senator is angling to go for third tenure. I understand the governor has promised him. In Edo South, I understand the senator is also interested. You know, so also the House of Rep. Most of the guys representing their constituencies now also want to go back. Some are in there for the first tenure, like the man in Denko, that is it. Dennis Idausa is there for the first tenure. He wants to go back for the second tenure. We have Professor Julius Ihonvere for the first tenure. He may wants to go back for the second tenure. We have got several others who we have the man representing Chief Billy Osawaru is in there now for the second tenure, I think. Second tenure. Yeah. Let's see. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Yeah, speak louder. Speak, you need to. Hello? Good afternoon. Oh, I can faintly hear you. Hello? Okay. Okay, we'll find out why we hardly can hear you. We'll find out. And so, a lot of guys want to contest for second tenor or third tenor or fourth tenor. Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, better now.
Good afternoon, sir. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, sir. Where are you calling from?
I missed your show for some time now. My name is Sonny.
Oh, how are you, sir?
I'm calling from Airport Road.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Honestly speaking, I will tell you that I do not have a problem with when you have somebody going back to the whether House of Reps, whether House of Assembly, whether the Senate, whether even for the sixth or the seventh time.
Okay.
Because the more you stay, understand the business of legislation, the more opportunity you are going to make and the more results you will get. But surprisingly, the only challenge I have is the fact that when you do not know why you are there, it becomes a serious problem.
Yeah, you are right.
That's the reason why I am more concerned about. I'm concerned about we should today business. We need to take that thing very serious. Legislation has sparked the idea of John say because I am loyal to John Mayaki, I should be given the opportunity to go there and make some money. I'm sure you can see the situation we are facing in Edo State today. For the first time in the history of Edo State or Bender State, you can see the challenge we are facing in the House of Assembly.
Yes.
Where the first timer now is the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly.
Yeah.
And we have had 10 members grown enough for how many years? So these are some of the challenges that we need to look at. Because I understand that if you are not a ranking member or you are not a old member, you cannot take the office of the speaker.
Yes.
You know, I remember I listened to this on Nobu, the man speaker.
Yes.
He said that he was willing to learn from the people now who perceive that are causing problems.
Yes.
But surprisingly, he doesn't have a problem with the party, but he has to become with the governor to PDP.
Yeah.
So how are you not going to make a difference? You know? So surprisingly, that is the situation we find ourselves in Benin in Edo State today. Whether you like it or not, they are the one presiding over the office. They just passed the budget now of over 500 Edo people. So these are some of the things that we need to take very serious. So I have listened to the man that your guest in the show. I have listened to some things he talked about. I can tell you with all sincerity, even though I grew up in Oklahoma where he's going to cover, but because of where I live, I'm not going to vote for him. But I can cover for him. But the situation is this: will he get the ticket? Because John Mayaki that I know does not bear with anybody. The John Mayaki that I know will not follow anybody. When you are not convinced, you will not follow. When you are convinced, you will follow.
Yeah.
That's the John Mayaki that I know. So will this man not be willing not to stand on the path of truth, or he will bend his way because he wants to please the other so that he can get the ticket? That is what we should be looking at. Not whether he will deliver. Because if you notice, most of the senators we have, even if you look at Oramide, he made a lot of promises how he's going to turn and don't around, give the house for the youth. I think the first senator is already in the second term now. Has he achieved that? No. You understand? So these are some challenges I'm having that when you look at what we do, for example, looking at the Babel from the US, what he has involved in, what can he bring to women and women now to make a difference in the city? So let's hope that as we approach 2023, if he gets the ticket, then we can begin to interrogate and put him on his to see what he will do.
Let me ask him. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Now, thank you, Doctor. Somebody who called is saying, "Oh, wonderful! You've got a very rich CV. No doubt, no doubt. I want to know. Of course, you know that the terrain in that climb is quite different from that of Nigeria. What can you do? He's also afraid. The caller is also afraid. Can you get the party ticket to run? Now, the true question is this: what do you think is missing that you want to bring into the table? That is one. Secondly, what are you doing to get the party ticket?
All right. First of all, thank you very much, John. And I want to say thank you to the caller. Very beautiful questions. And I understand his concern because that is the same concern, that actually brought some of us. Because first of all, power is not given, it's taken.
Yeah.
A lot of us make the mistake of thinking we can complain all day. We know what the problems are, but most of the time, very few people come up with solutions. And even when they do, they can't even, a lot of them cannot, not because they don't want to. Different people have different passion, to come out and say, let me put my money where my mouth is. Yeah. That is what I'm doing. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. To go out there and run. It's not easy for somebody from the diaspora to run for elections in Nigeria. But I want you to know, John, that this is not my first attempt. Okay. This is my fourth attempt. So for somebody, yes, so somebody that is running, yes, I ran for House of Assembly 3 times. I was stepped down the first 2 times, trying to be a party man. Of course, they will tell you, hey, you got to listen. This is how we do it here. You don't have to fight. You just have to wait. Somebody was here before you. John, I have gone through all those rudiments, okay? Yeah. And like I told you before, what I've come to find out is they will tell you all that. Maybe probably they want to see if you are persistent and consistent as a person. I've been able to go through all that hurdles. Okay? So you can say he has been baptized, and now I'm here to say, John, I know that it's not easy, but because I believe in Nigeria and I believe in my people, I'm still here. And I know a lot of them still believe in me. I've not run election to lose. Okay, those times that I just told you, after campaigns, 2 days to primaries, they call us and they say, hey, well, this is how it works. Can you just let this person finish? And like I told you before, not because I couldn't fight, but you just want to be a party man. I say, okay, well, that is okay. Let's see how it goes. I never left any time I was stepped down to wait for another 4 years to come back. I always stayed to work for whoever they chose. Okay? I did that, delivered for them till this time that we are in. Okay? So again, you now want to ask yourself, why still doing this? Because that is what I believe in. I believe if you stay consistent and persistent in anything you believe in, you will surely get that result. Now, why are we here? Because we have leaders, not they are bad people, but they are just doing their best. But I'm here to tell you now, probably their best is not enough, because from what we are seeing, the country is not where it should be. And some of us just believe we have something to offer, to take us to where, or at least close to where we should be. That's why some of us are here.
What then are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table?
Good. I'm sure by my introduction, without going back again, you already know that this is a man that wants to serve. I grew up being a Boy Scout, okay? I was a Boy Scout because it was a place you can serve other people. Then when I got to college, I actually was, in the student union government. Even when I was doing my master's abroad, I was a student union president. I went to an international university with people from all different countries. I was a student union president. I led delegates to the United Nations, Model United Nations conferences, and I have already seen that if you really, really want to help your people, one, you must have a vision first. That vision, I've already gotten that, and that is why I'm here for the past 12 years running for the same thing. Now, for people that naturally will give service, their time to their community, it does not matter where they do it, whether in the US, Germany, Italy, or wherever it is. Anywhere you put them, they will always give that service. I give service for free, even as a court-appointed special advocate on abused kids. Why can't I give those services in the country? I'm not just coming to tell you I will do this, I will do that. As an individual, John, go to where I come from. When I was running for House of Assembly, before I even started, I was already sponsoring National Directorate of Employment Programs on skill acquisition with my hard-earned money. Because I just believe when people graduate from college, they don't have jobs. What can you do? You can give them money all day, all night. Trust me, when you come back 3 months' time, they're going to ask you for money again. But what did I do? I collaborated with National Directorate of Employment, Edo State branch, to sponsor a lot of those programs, to give skill acquisitions to our own people. And at the time, CBN had a program where after acquiring those skills, they can come take a soft loan to start their own businesses, to run their own farms and all that. Even to the extent, John, whenever I'm in Nigeria, if I have something to do in Abuja or Lagos, I used to fly. But because when I saw what our people were going through, I stopped flying. Why? Because it would cost me at that time about 30,000 to fly from Benin to Abuja. Back 30,000, just maybe for 2-3 days engagement. What did I do? I started taking God is good. 6,000 naira. That 24,000 naira, I will give it to a market woman in Owo. You can go there and ask, they will tell you. That 24,000 coming back again, I will give it to a farmer to add to their own money to do all that stuff. I set up a cooperative, even in Owo, to see how they could come together and be able to access top loans. All these are ideas that we can do instead of always waiting for the government, to provide for all these things, because when we live in the United States, it's all about sit together as a community, brainstorm together, there's all number. Yes, you might want to say, well, all those things you did, Those are mostly things for executive. No, it's just something I will do to uplift people. But coming to what I'm running for, I want to make laws. And after making those laws, I want to be able to have an oversight function on the executive to make sure those laws are implemented right. Because those are the things that are lacking right now in Nigeria. Even a lot of our lawmakers don't even know that after making those laws, they still have oversight function. That is why when the executives don't implement, nothing happens. The people suffer. So we want to be able to hold them accountable. You know, so like I said before, I'm not saying they are not doing anything now, but I just believe some of us will come in.
Allow us, let's pick this call.
Bring
just a minute.
That aspect that we're able to handle.
Let's pick this call.
Yes.
Let's pick this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, sir, John.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, sir. Where are you calling from? Your name, please?
This is Sonny. I call back from Augustus.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to thank you again for the opportunity. You know, you did promise that you are going to continue to bring more people to show what they can do.
Yes.
And I'm glad. I know when you went for your father's funeral at that time, you were away for so time. I was calling you were in the village.
Yes.
I'm glad that you are back now. But I also you know, because I followed you. Anytime you are here, you show me. I just got the singer that you will be on. I thought it's okay. Let me wait and look at the kind of person that you were bringing. I would like to say to Chief Osawaru, recently one of his boy or son followed me on a radio, and it's through radio that the guy got to know me. And since then, the guy has been following up. I've got to visit him. He called me last week and he was very down. That his mother is from a home there, but I don't know the exact place. This guy now graduated. He wrote this state exam recently, or last year. The guy passed, but he was not taken, was not given the job. This one that the district government said he did. So this guy now took some loan and went to do farm in Katara farm in the home there. He called me last week. He was very down. I thought he was sick. He said he just put fire in his farm. But I couldn't verify the statement. This guy had his DS, he had his master. His father and the mother passed away. He goes to work there every time. I wish I remember. I know that this man, person we're bringing was going to be from that time. I would have asked him to join the online show because I sent the list to him. He said that those police officers that normally have a roadblock at that road area. When they finish using their wood to cook, they didn't put it up. So from then, fire enter this family farm where it does cassava. Everything got burned down. I don't know. Now we talked about the farm worker and support farmers, which is very good and which I will encourage you to continue to do. One of the questions I was going to ask him that for these 12 years that I didn't get the opportunity, has he been able to reach out to youth from Owodo and Olowo, not to give them money, not to support them? Because someone like me, I was a victim of this issue. When I lost my job because I refused to bend the rule, I refused to join the corruption, I lost my job. I went into watermelon farm. Just a month before we harvested, cattle there and destroyed everything. I'm back to square one. And we have been moving from one place to another, trying to see what we can do. I don't know. One of the challenges I found out from our people is that when you say you want to run, you see people running around you. Not because of what they are going to do, but what they are going to get from you. So
your question now, what is the question now?
The question now is that, has it been able to change to some extent for these 12 years, change the mindset of the people around him?
Okay.
So that at the end of the day, it's not just about he's going to run, because you have people who come around what you can get.
All right.
Because we change the mind that it's not about what you can get,
okay,
and what we can give, so that at the end of the day, the right person can be in place. I don't know what they are doing in that area.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now, did you get the question, sir?
Yes, I got it, John. First of all, I want to thank the caller. Again, I'm not sure what time he got on when I was already sharing some of my track record, even as an individual, not a lawmaker or a commissioner or anything. All those things I shared before, which probably he had it, but if he did not, yes, I have always been working with the youth. When I said I'm giving out even the money for flying, giving it out to people, some of those people were youth. You know, so if I stop flying from Benin to Abuja, John, is about 1 hour, you know. Flying from Benin to Lagos is about maybe 40 minutes. And it costs about 30,000 go, 30,000 come. On a trip, I give out more than $50,000 naira. Those were youths. Those were market women. Those were farmers. The skill acquisition I was doing as well. Those records are there. What I will encourage a lot of our people to do, even people that call in, when you see somebody is going to be on the show, why don't you do your homework on them? Do your research. Because I'm sure if my friend has called some few people in the world there, the things I'm telling you now all can be verified. Go to National Directorate of Employment in Benin right there, Upper Mission Road. Go ask them. That some few years ago, do you know a man like this, Shibili Osawaru? Has he sponsored any of your programs? In Uhode, those were my hard-earned money. Those were youths acquiring skill acquisition. And let me even tell you this, John. There was the last skill acquisition I did in the Ugbogri community, in Uhode. Do you know, by the time we were rounding up that program, Edo Best came there and started interviewing people, and some of those things showed up on Edo Best jobs. But I sponsored those stuff with my money. They can be verified. As we speak, John, I initiated the Uhode Network initiative right now, going on in Uhode. What does it do? This is a program where I had to bring the diaspora Uhode people to start working with the Uhode people at home, for us to raise money and support our vigilantes to start fighting the insecurity in Uhode. That is what is going on as we speak. If you talk to any vigilante in Uhode right now, they will tell you, we have a forum, we have the body has been set up, the account is set up, we are reaching out to the who is who in Uhode. We met with the commandant of 4th Brigade, Mechanized Brigade. We met with the DPOs.
Sorry, okay,
as
hello.
we speak right now, those things are going on. So I'm sure listen to all those things. So it's
Good
not
evening.
just
Doctor.
talk, it's do.
Doctor,
That's
wait.
what I stand for.
Just a minute, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. Where are you calling from? Your name, please?
Yes, my name is Steve Adepoju. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, Steve Adepoju, your contribution, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I've listened to your guest speaker, and it's obvious he's a man that has a lot of interest for the development of this country, and really wants to touch life. Listening to him so far, I think he has ideas. But the beautiful thing is, everybody who wants to contest, everyone who wants to contest, there's nobody who do not have ideas. Unfortunately, most of the times, even those who have won election and they are there today, if you ask them when they were about to start, they reel out beautiful ideas like this and all of that. But they come into the system and realize that the system do not even encourage some of these ideas. My question is, I want to ask him, what is he going to do different? Because we've seen situations where lawmakers will pass a motion on issues and nobody, it will not be vetted, it will not be executed, and nothing will happen. So I want to know what exactly is it going outside the empowerment aspect. The fundamental responsibility of a lawmaker is to make law for the good governance of a nation, of every nation, of every state. So if lawmakers who are to make laws, and the executive who are to execute these laws do not execute the laws, and the lawmakers do not do anything about it, to me, I think it's an aberration. It's wrong. So I want to know what exactly he's going to do different. Leave the empowerment aspect of it. Everybody is coming out to tell us that they want to empower. So let him tell us what he's going to do different.
What he wants to do differently.
Yes, what he's going to do.
All right, thank you. Thank you so very much. Doc, did you hear that?
Let me quickly thank him again for bringing that question. Like he said, a lot of people will roll out all these ideas. What a lot don't do is a lot of them don't execute like I've been doing. Fine. Like I started with, I said, hey guys, I might be doing all those things. I'm not running for a local government chairman, but I just did those things because those were right things to do. But am I upset that a lot of things are not working? Of course. Why? Because when you don't have the executive implement the laws that have been made, everything is useless. And that is why I told you that a lot of our lawmakers have slept on their rights. A lot of them have forgotten that it's not only making laws, but you have an oversight function over the executive.
Okay.
That is the area I think a lot of our lawmakers are not trying.
Okay.
And that is the area I want to cover when I come into office. We need to understand what is that area we can hold the executive accountable. Because what I'm saying right now, John, is so sad to see how the executive has taken over even the job of the legislator. And I don't know why, but I'm telling you now that whoever does anything in their own private life is not too difficult for them to replicate even when they are in office.
Yeah.
Why we see people come in, they say some certain things in their private life, then when they get into office, they are not able to do it. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they never had a clue what they were talking about. So like I said, you want to know who is going to do something, check their private life, what they've been doing. Have they been volunteering? Have they been using their hard-earned money? If they be doing those things without no pressure. I didn't run for elections in the U.S. to be a court-appointed special advocate on abused children.
Okay.
But I did it anyway. So again, let me quickly answer that question that I just said. The oversight function is the area I want to be very strong on. Okay. Apart from making those laws, we have good laws right now, but we are not holding the executive accountable.
Okay.
So that area is the area I will be stronger than probably maybe the people right there now.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Okay, I'm sure we missed that caller. Thank you so very much, Doc. Yeah, hello?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good afternoon. Go ahead, I can hear you. Okay, we lost that caller. Thank you so very much, Doc. Doc, I want to find out. The present person occupying that position. Have you checked his record of achievements? And did you see areas that you think is lagging behind that you think you can improve on?
The person occupying that position now is a very good friend of mine, Right Honorable Patrick Asowere. Of course, if you look at his track record, yes, you can tell that a lot of people are breathing today of what this guy has done. They call it stomach infrastructure. He has done very well, actually uplifting a lot of our people. Yes, the area I think I'm going to be looking at is the area I'm already talking to him now because I think it's the right thing to do. I'm not the type of politician that want to castigate somebody that's occupying a position because I want to go occupy that position. I need to go talk to him. I need to be his friend so he can share with me the kind of things, the expectations, so that because I've not been there, but I have an idea of the kind of things I want to go do. Like I said before, that area of oversight is the area I want to be very strong on. The area he is very good at right now. I want to consolidate that. So the oversight function, I still need to get more clues from him. Then see how I can work more on that so that we can get a better outcome than what we are getting right now. Of course, as you know, one person cannot get it done.
That's quite
But your ability to actually carry your other lawmakers along matters a lot. What is your convincing power? That area I know I'm very strong, John. When it comes to carrying your peers along, I'm very strong in that, and I think I will do well.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you so very much.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, your name and where you calling from?
Yes, my name is Lucky and I'm calling from Canada.
Lucky from Canada.
Yes.
All right, go ahead with your contribution. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
First of all, I've been following your program and I want to say thank you very much for the job well done.
Thank you so very much.
I just have a question for my chief, Osawaru, that is vying for the position for the House of Reps. Going by what is happening right now in the party, my question to him is, how is he prepared to handle the issue of godfatherism in the party? Going by the fact that he did mention that he has tried to contest on several occasions and the leaders have asked him to step down. So what if come 2023, he's also asked to step down? What would be his action?
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Doc, did you hear that?
Yes, I had that. You saw me laughing because
Okay.
yes, it's a big concern. But what I want to tell my brother is over the last 12 years that I've been running, I think a lot of our leaders, a lot of them have come to see me for who I am, being consistent and persistent, which is what they always tell me. And a lot of them have come to fall in love with me too. That initially when I came, they thought I was just like one of those people that would just fly in because they have some money to spend and they would try. If they don't get it, they go back never to show up. But they saw me keep coming. So over time, a lot of them have called me and encouraged me and say, hey, you know what, your day is going to come. And I think before I actually threw my hat in the ring, I did all my consultation. And I went around all these leaders, and trust me, more than 80% of them told me this was my time, and that it will make them look like people that are helpless if after stepping me down for this number of times, they come back and say they are stepping down. Not that I'm not qualified for it. They just feel like it's time to try somebody else, to see how you can do, especially, somebody from the diaspora. So I want to assure you, my friend, that we are good to go. And I know you asked one thing. If they ask me to step down again, oh, yes, I've won myself into their heart. But one thing I told them to respectfully, I won't step down for anybody anymore. Because nobody's going to tell me or nobody's going to label me a bad person.
Yeah.
If after stepping me down twice, you still step down the third time. So, I mean, my conscience is not going to prick me at all.
That's good.
If I don't step down for anybody. So I'm going to telling you now that is not going to happen again. And nobody's going to step me down again.
That's quite good. That's quite interesting to hear. That is good because of course I was going to ask you that question before that caller called to say, look, should in case you are asked to step down, thank you, you have answered that question, and that was a brilliant one. And the question of what you are going to do that the other man is not doing, I like the way you answered it, and to say you have called him, you're talking to him, you're going to build on what he has done, and we've got a very wonderful CV. When you talk of volunteering abroad, in the UK, in the US, in senior clients, people volunteer for work. But in this country, people simply want to get money for everything done. Whatever you do in this country is all about money and money and money. There's no time for volunteering. And then I want to believe you will bring that to bear when you become a legislator. Tell us, sir, what are you going to do in terms of this attitude of dependency on politicians? The society now depends on politics. If not politics, nothing happens again. It's just like an industry. What about, of course, where you are now, people believe in hard work, do it yourself, technical skills. What are you going to do about that, sir?
First of all, John, I want to tell you that no man that is worth his salt really wants to depend on another man. Yes, it might look like a lot of our people are depending on the politicians. Probably that is maybe they are back now against the wall. That is all they think they can do. But again, what am I going to do about this? Of course, like what I've been doing, I believe if a man has a decent job, he will not go to another man to go ask for money or for handouts. Okay, so I'm going to make sure if the laws we don't have, that are just friendly, those laws will be sponsored, those bills will be sponsored by me, and we'll make sure they become laws. And the ones we already have that are just friendly, then we're going to consolidate, we're going to work on them, look at why they are not working right now. Is it the executive that's not implementing right? Again, the oversight function comes in again. This is going to take a lot of, we study this thing, we see why it's not working, then we start doing things differently. So again, I'm telling you right now that if our people have jobs, if they are gainfully employed, no man is going to be depending on any politician. Let me tell you, the difference here is in the Western world, the people give money to politicians to run elections. But here, unfortunately, the politicians give money to the people to win elections. And we have to reverse that. Okay, so some of those things, maybe we have laws in the books now encouraging politicians to spend money like no man's business. But by the time some of us come into power, we got to look at some of those things, spending in elections. Is that really sustainable for a country? We got to look at it, because if we put the right things in place, We don't need to be spending all this money to win elections
Good.
when our people are suffering. So this is more like one time every 4 years we come in and give money to people to win elections. Is it sustainable? It has never been, and it will never be. So we want to stop those kind of things. I want to sponsor some of those bills to make sure that it is better to teach a man how to fish than always giving a man a fish.
Good. I want to ask you, sir. People talk of first tenor. People talk of second tenor. People talk of fourth tenor, fifth tenor. Even in the country where you are now, I've seen people in the Congress who have been there for 30 years, 30 good years. Are you a proponent of fourth, fifth tenor?
Well, John, the truth is constitutionally, they are allowed to. You can run for as many times as you want to run. But again, it now depends on the people. You see, some people will tell you, if it's not broken, why fix it? Right? So for me, I just feel like if you want to compare the Western world in certain things, you've got to bring in the cultural and ethnic implications.
Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc. Oh, no. Okay, we will get that sorted out. We lost. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, good. So, like I was saying, I said here you can actually have people.
Your video.
You know, we are in a different culture. Can you see my video now?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're in a different culture. We have more than 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria, right? So now, even in one, let's say a federal constituency, you begin to find even some people that come from maybe different families or different, maybe they speak some language, maybe slightly different from one another. So you now begin to look at issue of fairness. But in the Western world, they don't see those kind of things. Right? That is why you see when they have one person going for a particular office, he can stay there for 20 years, 30 years, and when they believe he's doing the right thing, sometimes people don't even come to run against that person. But here in our country, we begin to look at some issue of fairness. If somebody says, but it has to be an agreement amongst the people. The one I will not support is if somebody wants to do it because he thinks he can do it, maybe because it comes from that part of the ethnic group that dominates that particular constituency. That is not fair. But if it's an agreement that says when you do a number of times or a number of terms, then let the other one do so that we can have a sense of inclusion, you know, and fairness. Well, I don't think there's nothing wrong. If somebody comes back after 2 times and the community says, okay, can you let the other person go while we step you up? You know, we have different offices. Some people want to run for ranks, maybe after 2 terms. Then the people will say, okay, you know what? You have already done 2 terms in the House of Reps. Why don't you step up to Senate? Why we now let the other people
let's pick this call. Doc, let's pick this call.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, we missed that call. But okay. As you continue, Doc, in a situation where you are told that, okay, this man there now is in his second tenure.
Yes.
Let him go for third tenure or fourth tenure, so that if he becomes the Speaker of the National Assembly of the House of Rep, a lot of things will come. Whereas if you go there first tenure, you may not be. You will just be settling down. The call is coming again. Keep that in mind. Let's pick this call.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Lucky. I just called earlier.
Okay, Lucky from Canada, I think.
From Canada, yes.
All right, go ahead, sir.
I just want to add to what Dr. just said.
Okay.
Me as an individual,
yeah.
I don't have any concern with people going for more than 1 tenure to precise or 2 tenure to say. If I could quote it correctly, I remember Chief Ike Osawaru, who was in the Senate, the deputy Senate president to Senate president. I think he went for more than 2 or 3 tenures while he was in the Senate. I don't think that's an issue when a representative is actually representing his constituency very well. So, for me, I think we have to change the narrative. When you are there as a lawmaker, and you are representing the people very well, like you're supposed to do, I don't think the tenor is an issue. What matters is how much you have paid the people by the laws and how you represent them.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so very much,
I'm going to say, for example, I am from Ovia Federal Constituency, and the person representing us right now is Honorable Dennis Igausa, who has been doing very well.
Yeah.
So are you trying to tell me right now that if he wants to go for a second term, I will not support him? Of course I will, because he has proved to us that, the generation that we are right now, we can actually change the narrative. And the same thing, the way I'm seeing Honorable Benefit, I think the same way I could equally say Doctor has shown that kind of capacity that he can actually do the same thing. Because us as a party, or us as a politician, we need to start doing things that we bring us to the limelight, whereby when we start to represent the people will like, okay, this person has represented us very well, and he is good to go.
Oh, thank you so much. I think, Doctor, will be needing your support. Apart from this show, he will be needing your support to win this election.
Very well, very well, very well. I am in Canada, and I'm also vying for a position in my local government as well.
Wow. That's great. Mr. Lucky, I think.
I see people of like mind really very, I want to say, like, he has my support already.
Okay.
And we're just trying to see how we can change the narrative in politics in Nigeria.
Wonderful. That would be great. Thank you so very much, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Doc, supports are coming in for you, Doc.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Doc,
yes, go on.
You had that question that, assuming you are told that the man there now, allow him to go for the last time because it's likely going to be the Speaker of the House of Rep. And you have a Speaker of the House of Rep in your local government or in your constituency. I'm sure you are happy. What will you do?
Okay, John, let me quickly put this. I'm sure before I came out to run, I would have done my consultations, and I'm a guy that believes in when you are doing the right thing. I don't have any problem if you want to run 3, 4, 5 times, but I still believe too that if somebody is doing the right thing, and I have a way to collaborate or build some form of partnership with him. But let me tell you, John, if there's any way I can get somebody like that, instead of representing 2 local governments, to support him to represent 7 local governments from those South, I will do that. Because if I work with him, I will step him up to being a senator. I know he can bring more for our people, than just the 2 local governments, right? So, and as somebody that has been in the House of Reps, it's National Assembly. Once you step into Senate, you're still going to maintain that leadership office because you have occupied the leadership space in the House of Reps. So again, like I just told you, I'm always for those people that will do the right thing. Wherever they want to go, I will always be here to work with them. But let me tell you something, John. Don't you think if I'm in the House of Reps and the person occupying that office today becomes a senator, don't you think we can do more for our people together than just only him being forward?
I like that. I quite like that. Doc, you see, there's one thing that fascinates me too. One thing when I saw your video, or your short documentary, I was quite carried away. I was like, yes. This is cosmopolitan. This is quite interesting. Doc, the last question I'll ask you before you go is, mention 2, 3 things that you will do if you are elected that will put you in the world map. 2, 3 projects you will do, dear to your heart.
Well, first of all, like I said before, at this stage, John, you will agree with me that unemployment right now, in the country is something else, right? And if I can get into the House of Reps and I'm responsible for sponsoring a bill whereby we are going to create all kinds of skill acquisition that will create jobs for our kids, instead of having more than 35% unemployment rate, if we can get it to a single digit, I would have achieved. Then 2, the local government that I come from, that I'm representing. Because again, many people will tell you charity begins at home. If you want to become any other thing, now that is going to speak for you, right? Right now, strategically, positioned in those states. You cannot access the eastern part of the country without Onwode and Oriomo. You cannot access the northern part of the country without Onwode. And right now, what are we seeing? All we hear is insecurity here and there. Before I leave office, being exposed with my type of exposure, being a member of so many different chamber of commerce, if I'm able to attract industries to Onwode and Oriomo, because they have one thing so many other local governments don't have in those states, is the land. Onwode can be molded into anything right now. Oriomo can be molded into anything right now. If I can attract, just being in an office alone, to attract all those investors down there, so that 5, 10 years, 20 years from now, we can build a blueprint for Onwode to become the new Benin City.
Are you saying if you can or you will?
Yeah. Of course, it's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm telling you. By the time I finish doing that, that's what I mean by if I can. Okay. That means by the time I finish doing that, I would have achieved. Right? That's what I mean by that, because you can tell from the way I'm talking, I already got my vision. Not today. My vision keeps getting stressed every single year. I'm in this game. Okay? So that is not a matter of whether you have the vision now, because it takes a man with a vision to stand this battle for 12 years and still keep talking, still keep moving. It's not easy. Getting a check from the US an average of $2,000 just to come say you want to do anything. If I do that every other month, then you know this man is a serious man. So, John, trust me, Onwode should not be seen as the most backward local government. Oriomo should not be seen as one of the most backward local government. 5, 10 years from now, they should be seen as the most prosperous local governments in the country.
Good. Before we go, we'll ask you, Doc. There are bottlenecks in government. There are bottlenecks in government. It's not as easy as contesting an election and getting into the House of Rep that you think, oh, if I get there, I will do this. If I get there, I will do this. I will do that. I will do this. There are bottlenecks that people experience. Have you found out? Have you done your investigation? Have you consulted people who are presently there now, who have been there before, to say, how does the business of legislature, how does it go? Have you done any inquiry?
Yes, I have, John. I've done consultations. Yes, you talked about bottlenecks. Bottlenecks can come from within, even just maybe in the National Assembly itself. Bottleneck can come maybe from the executive. It can come from the judiciary. But our ability, to sit down on a round table and have a conversation about these things, that is what matters. So again, we have seen that most of the time when we have those bottlenecks, the first thing we want to do is throw punch. We have seen that throwing punches are not really delivered for us. What about if we try diplomacy this time? Because I sincerely believe everybody wants to achieve. Some people don't have a clue how to get there, while some people do. What is your convincing power over your peers? That is where my strength lies, John. My convincing power to sit somebody down, to let them see things from the other side, because we just can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So people just keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That is not going to happen anymore when I'm there. I need to sit people down. Yes, initially, it might not look like something that's going to work. I just believe being consistent and persistent is the key. It might take time, but we'll get it done. Don't forget, from this part of the country we come from, we are all very proud people. But that being proud, are we using it in a positive way or negative way? As you can see, sometimes it's really affecting us negatively, where two people cannot sit down to actually have a rapport. We need to change all those things. I believe it's the way you approach me, John, that is how I will respond to you.
Yeah.
So if we talk to each other in a very decent way, I believe whether you are executive, you are legislator, you are the judiciary branch, I believe a time will come where we all can really sit down and make things work. And again, don't underestimate the power of ignorance. A lot of people that are ignorant don't know they are ignorant, okay? But If you want to talk to an ignorant person about certain issues, you have to be very respectful about it. Sometimes we always throw it at their face to let them know they are ignorant. Guess what? They are going to fight you back. But when you are talking to somebody that's ignorant about certain things, there is a respectful way you can bring this thing to the table and they will work with you. That is where my strength lies.
Doc, that is quite interesting. Don't underestimate the power of ignorance. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. That's my takeaway. That is quite interesting. Thank you so very much, everyone. For Doc, I will see how we can assist you to do what your vision, to actualize your vision. We'll do what we can do. We don't have power. We don't have money to give to you. Whatever support we can give, you can expect that from us. We sincerely want to thank you for this opportunity, Doc. And hoping that next time we'll call on you again so that you can share more light on your plans and vision. Most sincerely grateful, sir. Sure. Thank you so very much. Do you want to say? Yes. Your leaders in Wuunde and all over will be expecting you very soon. Thank you so very much.
Yes, John, I'm already in Nigeria. I'm in Abuja right now.
Oh, that is good. That is good. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right.
Thank you.
Bye. All right then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Viewers, we want to thank you for joining us for this show. It's quite interesting time with Chief Dr. Osawaru, Billy Osawaru. We want to appreciate. We'll continue our show on the next leg of it. We want to see in the next section of this program, we want to see this crisis in the country. Ritual money. People now go into ritual. Young boys, they go into Yahoo. They say Yahoo Plus. I mean, when we were growing up, we didn't know anything about Yahoo. Now we learned there's something called Yahoo Plus. Now, apart from Yahoo Plus, we learned there's, of course, they are going into ritual. There's Yahoo Plus, and there's ritual in it. Then people just want money. What do you need money for? What exactly? You've got a bed. Look, you have a big bed to sleep, and you sleep in one corner of the bed. In the entire room, you have a big house, large compound. You have cars everywhere. How many are you going to drive? What part of the bed? You can't sleep in the entire room, no. If you have 2-3 rooms, you have one room. Where are you going to sleep? So what type of mentality has come? Is it a parental failure? Is it a governmental failure? We want to discuss this crisis of ritual killings, Yahoo Plus, and the role of government in all of this. You join us again as we continue this program. Thank you.